Welcome back, everyone. First up on the list today, I have an anonymous question that was sent to me by email. This person says, so it takes me a while to get to work, an hour on a good day, but usually 90 minutes. This is extremely tiring, and I find myself getting so angry at inconsiderate drivers after a long day or trying to rush to work in the morning who cut in front of you or don't follow the rules of the road. I think what gets me most upset is not only thinking about being in a car accident and crashing my vehicle, but also that car accidents can take someone's life. So the disregard to this really makes me mad. I also work for an insurance company and I process third-party claims where sometimes we have to reject third parties' claim even though our client was in the wrong due to various reasons. I don't know if this adds a layer, but I wanted to include it. I also get upset that I live so far away from work, but the area that the company is situated in is really expensive and I don't make enough to move out, even sharing with someone or living on the outskirts. Further, I feel like I have been shortchanged when it comes to my salary, as although it is more than what I was making as an intern, it's not enough with the amount of pressure and stress the job comes with. Everybody on the team feels like this. They did ask me how much I wanted, and I feel like I said a low amount because I just wanted to get my foot in the door, and now I'm kicking myself. Okay, so first of all, well done for reaching out for help with this, and I'm sorry to hear of all the frustrations you're dealing with at the moment. So before we go on to the steps to take, it's important to remember that A, what you are feeling now is not about now, as much as it seems to be about now. It's coming from childhood, of course. And the reason we know that is if it was just about now, the challenges you're dealing with now, you would be able to be in a strategic state. You would be able to be strategic in your decisions and your actions and the solutions you look for and come up with, rather than feeling emotionally triggered. So feeling emotionally triggered indicates the original cause of that trigger is in childhood. So of course, we'll take a look at that. And B, the brain is always looking for the next problem. My grandmother used to say, oh, you'll never be satisfied. And she's right. That's true. Because as humans, the brain is designed to focus on the next issue. So the brain is designed to ignore all the good that we already have and anything we've already achieved and move its focus to the danger first. And then secondly, the things we don't have yet, what's not right yet. The fact that you managed to get yourself into a job that you didn't think you could get, and the wonderful feelings that came with that, along with the fact that you are earning more now than you were earning before, all of that is being ignored by the unconscious part of your brain as it starts to hyper focus on the next danger, the next problem, which are the things, the challenges that you've mentioned, of course. And the reason for pointing this out is not to say that you should settle for what you have. It's to say, don't buy into the illusion that there's something wrong. So in the same way that you were able to get yourself out of your previous situation to this next level, you can do exactly the same to move yourself from this level forward to the next one, the next level of enjoyment, fulfillment, happiness, and so on. So in the same way that where you were before was not all there was, even though you thought it was and it seemed that way, where you are now is also not all there is. So what you want to aim for is that you're feeling good, rather than triggered, which will keep the cognitive thinking part of your brain online so that you can then think of solutions and options that you can't think of from a triggered state. And just as there were answers back then in the previous situation that you couldn't see from where you were, the same applies to now, so that you're able to make different decisions, notice different opportunities, take different actions, just like when you moved from your previous circumstances to where you are now. So let's look at the steps. So step one is to do whatever it takes right now to get yourself into a state of feeling good. So use the brain chemistry technique, listen to music you love, watch videos that make you smile or laugh, watch something heartwarming, do an activity you love, do some physical exercise, whatever will get you there. So if one thing doesn't work, try something else and keep doing that until you find something that makes you feel good. All right. Then move on to step two. And that is ask yourself as you think about the other drivers on the road and you remember how that feels for you, what's the first thing that pops into your mind from childhood? And it's very important to realize that it may have nothing to do with cars or driving. Go with the first thing that pops into your head, even if it seems unrelated or it seems random. Make a note of whatever came up. Then ask yourself, as you think about the fact that you live so far away from work, same thing, whatever comes to mind from childhood as you think of those feelings. And remember, again, it may not be the same topic, but it will be the same feeling. So go with the first thing. And then think about the salary. So how you feel about that and all the details of it. And then ask yourself where in your childhood you experienced those feelings. And again, go with the first thing that pops into your head, even if it seems random. Then, of course, step three is to change all of those memories to the opposite, positive and empowering. Include any stepping stones that are needed and do whatever is needed in order to amp up those good feelings. And then establish the new memories by repetition. Then, finally, moving forward, use the superpower to pre-pave your journeys to and from work. And use the superpower on the whole workplace, everybody in it, including yourself, and including the salary and anybody involved in that. Make sure that you're filling yourself with it first, of course. Pre-pave before you leave for work in the morning. So while you're getting ready, get into that state and then practice staying in that superpower state while you're driving. Now, understand you won't be able to stay in it because, of course, you'll still be getting triggered, but keep getting back into it. See how early you can catch it. Correcting it early will help you to be able to do it more easily because the longer you're pumping stress chemicals into your system, of course, the more in the survival state, it becomes impossible. So I used to have road rage. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to have really strong road rage. And the superpower is what changed that, practicing it. And so I would get into that state, I'd get into the car, I'd be in the superpower state, I'd be driving along, and then someone would cut me off dangerously, and I would feel that adrenaline rush, that fury, and immediately I'd catch it. Now, I wasn't always able to, but I kept practicing, kept practicing. I kept trying every time it happened. And just like any skill, it's not a straight line, so you can't always do it. But if you just keep getting back on, like falling off a bicycle, get back on as you can, and eventually you will be able to stay in that more empowered state, which is going to be safer for driving as well, because you won't be in a reactive mode. You'll have your prefrontal cortex online. So I hope that helps. And thank you again for the question.